Cool stuff coming out of Comic-Con, and we got Splatoon and Fortnite. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Couch Soups here, and today is Friday, July 24th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said, we've got some Splatoon, so Nintendo Switch 2 owners can rejoice that they got a new game that they can play. Splatoon Raiders is out. It's currently at an 81 Metacritic, so pretty favorable rating as far as Metacritic is concerned. And yeah, everyone I've heard talk about it is talking that it's a really great game. I think a lot of people are kind of moving away from the multiplayer aspects of Splatoon and more focused on like the single player campaign like they did for the last Splatoon game. So making a whole one makes a lot of sense. A lot of reviews I read were just kind of saying that the looter shooter aspect kind of just feels right for the game and the world. So yeah, I mean, if I had a Switch 2, I might be picking this one up as well. So let me know what you think of Splatoon Raiders down below, but I'll have a link down to so you can check out all the ratings down there. Fortnite is big enough that it can eat basically any IP, including Obsession, which feels a little off, but I digress. Fortnite can also eat entire video game genres. Look what they did to the Lego genre. Look what they did to the rhythm genre. They even did a racing game, or they even did like a rocket cars, genre as well. And now Fortnite is going after the big one. They're going to do a creature battler, also known as like a Pokemon game. They released information and they released a trailer talking about all the new and unique looking Pokemon / pets that you can pick up in the next update to Fortnite coming at the end of the month. So we'll hear a little bit more about that next week. But yeah, Fortnite has some pretty big shoes to fill if they want to tackle Pokemon, but Pokemon seems to be doing its own thing, raising prices. So if I can play free Pokemon in Fortnite, maybe I will. It'll have better graphics and run on Unreal Engine, which is more than I could say about the latest Pokemon games. But I'm more interested in saving post-apocalyptic Pokemon in Pokopia anyway. So, but yeah, Fortnite has got some is targeting one of the big ones, with Pokemon being probably one of the biggest IP, if not the biggest IP in the world. But I digress there. Coming out of Comic-Con, we got a trailer for the new Wolverine game, which, besides the fact that everybody is review bombing or comment bombing it for PlayStation's decision to not release physical discs for their video games, Wolverine still, the trailer looks cool. There's just a 2-minute trailer kind of getting the narrative up and running about how they're going to do the like humans versus mutants kind of war, and there's subjugation of the mutants, and how Wolverine's going to solve it all with his 6 claws. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Wolverine, and what I'm not looking forward to is all the games that I won't be playing when I'm playing Wolverine instead in September. So looking forward to Wolverine in just a few short months. The Paramount buyout of Warner Brothers Discovery is being blocked by 12 states' attorneys, including California. So it's not so easy to just buy out a company for $100 billion nowadays. If the federal government isn't going to enforce antitrust laws, then I guess the state's attorneys are going to try and do it. I don't know that. I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know if this has any merit to it, but it at least is a speed bump along the way, preventing David Ellis from just buying whatever he wants. Yeah, I don't know if this will actually result in anything, but currently it's just a legal case getting in the way of the buyout. So good luck on that front. We talked last week about possibly rolling out ad-supported games in the future, and Microsoft is already delivering on that. In their Insider program, Microsoft is running ads before the games. One of the things that they said in the article I read to kind of alleviate concerns is that they're only doing it before games that you've already bought and paid for, which is a little weird, because if I paid $60 to $80 for a video game, I kind of don't want to see ads before I play it. But yeah, if there is a means that I could play the game for less, or pay less for the game, I mean, that's still going to feel bad. It's going to feel really weird when I buy like an ad-supported video game for $40 and a non-ad supported game for 80, but that's one potential way to increase the market. So I'm a little of two minds about that, but yeah, also rings a little hollow when Microsoft is now applying, figuring out ways to make money after they've fired 30 or 3,000 people. So yeah, stings and rings a little hollow there, but yeah, it's a little bit of a weird future that we're heading into with the whole idea of ad-supported video games. A lot of 2K games are up on Humble Bundle, some of the best I would say, including BioShock Infinite, as well as my favorite Borderlands game, Tales from the Border. That and 13 other video games are available in the 2K Humble Bundle, which I'll have linked down below, that you can get for at least $15, but you can always pay a little bit more if you want to give a little bit more money to charity for getting 15 2K games for 15 or so dollars. A new RTS game has hit the market. It is fresh out of the Kickstarter phase of its campaign and into early access. Zero Space looks and feels like a modern RTS from what I've seen, and yeah, it's as someone who loves all the Warcrafts and Starcrafts of the world, I didn't play too much Stormgate, but this one's got that kind of sci-fi future feeling that you like. It's also got it's kind of leaning a little bit more on the the role-playing game side of things. In game, I think your troops can level up over time, or you have heroes that run around and support your basic troops. They're also boasting a campaign with real RPG dialogue options and all that kind of stuff, so less linear and maybe more branching as far as the campaign and role playing that is concerned. So pretty interesting stuff going on there in Zero Space. So if you're a fan of RTS games and don't mind playing an early access game and getting a feel for it, feel free to check it out. Another game that is out now that has so much of the things that I like in it, I can't even imagine it, is a game called Far Far West. It is a co-op undead cowboy, so you are a cowboy who is undead, very much me-coded, and it is a horde shooter. So 1 to 4 players can play through this campaign or this world where you are all skeleton cowboys, and you are just shooting up enemies with kind of cowboy-esque revolvers and rifles. So yeah, it looks awesome. I just got to find 3 other friends who want to play with it with me. So yeah, I'm very excited for Far Far West. I caught a glimpse of that this week and it caught my eye, so I'll have a link down below for you to check it out as well. You remember Darkest Dungeon, right? Came out, I think, 15 years ago at this point. But hit roguelike game, very cool dungeon crawler. And yeah, it even has a sequel that came out in the last few years. But someone needs to remind the people at Red Hook that they have a sequel, because they are releasing downloadable content for the first game, which I think is a little interesting. I mean, if they can justify keeping employees and the lights on by making downloadable content for a classic, for their older game, hey, more power to them. But yeah, interesting that there is downloadable DLC content coming out for a very old game, including a game that already has a sequel and is out. So pretty interesting stuff there. It kind of reminds me of the fact that Witcher 3, after 10 years, is getting an expansion as well. So interesting times that we're living in, where we can, where studios are justifying making DLC for older titles, which is pretty fun and interesting. So excited for more content for a game I already have. Last but not least, in Hollywood's never-ending thirst for video game, sure bet video game content that they can make into movies and TV shows, Universal is turning towards Atari to make potential movies or TV show out of 10 different Atari IPs, biggest of which are Pong, which seems like a pretty limited space to kind of build a movie around. Centipede, giant centipede coming around. You got to use your lasers to shoot the centipede. Or Missile Command could be a pretty cool end of the world flick where we're trying to navigate the missiles to blow up the other missiles. But yeah, pretty weird. The other ones are not as it was 10 different IPs. Those were just the biggest ones that caught my eye. But yeah, I don't know how many of these will even make it past the green light and into pre-production. But But interesting stuff there as Universal tries to find more. They already have Mario. What other movie, like what other big major gaming IPs do they need? I guess they need some from Atari. So I digress. Also coming out of Comic Con is the Resident Evil trailer, and while it doesn't include, your Leon Kennedys or your Jill Valentines or anything like that, it does have immaculate vibes for like a Resident Evil game. So I definitely recommend checking out the trailer. I was not on board with the first couple trailers, but the one coming out of Comic Con definitely had like the vibes were perfectly immaculate. So I'm very excited for it now. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!